That's right. This Sunday is Children's Day, which means it's a busy time for parents. Are you a good dad?
A for effort.
A for effort. No, actually, I've seen you talk to your daughter on the phone. You're a major. You have a soft spot for your daughter there.
I think all fathers do,
right.
especially for their daughters. Yeah, I try, I guess.
All right. Well, to tell us more about the changing role of fathers, we have Eunice Kim.
Hello, guys.
Good morning.
Up a little bit for this story. Yeah, Korean fathers, are known to be quite conservative and less expressive when it comes to interacting with their families. But, Young, you might agree with this. Things are slowly changing. So I wanted to take a look at how Korean dads are taking on new roles on this family month.
The once dominant pattern of men going to work and women staying home with the children in Korea is changing. So-called daddy schools are packed and expanding as dads are opting to spend more quality time with their families. As a reflection of these changes is a popular reality show that depicts the struggles and the joys of fathers who go on trips with their kids without mom. Over the years of economic development, it's hard to deny that Korean fathers had taken on a reputation for putting work before family. But these days, more and more dads are breaking away from this stereotype. This appears to be a family like any other with two sons, a 4-year-old and 7-year-old. But the parent looking after them is not their mother. As a father, Kang Hyun-sik is used to taking care of his sons. Kang is a psychologist who writes columns and also teaches. But he opted to become a freelancer to focus on raising his children, saying that a father can give the best care possible for his sons.
After becoming a parent, I thought, how can I build a happy childhood for my kids? That's how I decided to become a freelancer and spend more time with my children.
It has already been 7 years since Kang made the switch. Just as you would expect from a psychologist, he observes his son's emotions carefully and has written 2 books about raising children. But 7 years ago, when Kang first decided to become a stay-at-home dad, the response was not that good.
When I take my children to kindergarten, other mothers stare at me. It was a bit difficult in the beginning because I could tell they were thinking, does he not have a job?
These days, dads like Kang Hyun-sik are not an exception. According to a survey from the Ministry of Employment and Labor, the number of fathers taking paternity leave is rapidly increasing year by year. If you look at the number of workers who took parental leave from 2008 to 2011, the average rise in maternity leave numbers was 25%, while paternity leave was double that, at 58%. The statistical jump indicates that men are also proactively trying to balance work and family needs. Then what has caused this shift?
Because it's common to have both parents working now, the fact that the mother cannot be the sole caretaker is one of the main reasons. Also, there's more attention on each child due to the low birth rate. Not only that, the way Korean men think these days is much more westernized. Unlike before, where men thought they had to be the ones working to get recognition, these days they're more focused on their families and children.
Although the revised role can be stressful, Korean dads are discovering a new joy found only in family.
The time that I'm spending with my kids, the feelings and how we communicate on an emotional level, nothing can replace this.
Yeah, and there's a new word that's popping up that's been being used to affectionately call their dads, and that is friendy, a combination of the word friend and daddy. And this kind of goes to show, I guess, the change in the generational shift, because Korean dads used to be more conservative and perhaps authoritative, and the children, the sons who grow up under that generation, are wanting to be more relational with their children now and to build that relationship that perhaps they felt like they missed out on with their father. So certainly we are seeing shifts, although not as drastic perhaps as the father we met in the video, but certainly more dads are becoming more hands-on.
Right. The father we saw in your video had 2 boys, but I think it's important for girls to have an involved and respectful father because it gives them an idea of how other men should treat them, and it makes them less likely to be involved in an abusive relationship. I mean, I'm a huge daddy's girl, and I think that had a positive impact on my life, too.
As you mentioned, when you see a lot of fathers, especially from our generations, they were conservative, they were authoritative, but at the same time, they were very, they were workaholics, you know, they would work these overtime hours and not really have that much time to spend with the kids, and the fathers now making more time to spend time with their daughters
And for them,
and their
that
sons.
was their expression of showing love toward their children and their family, because as the head of the household, they needed to bring in the cash, as well as support the country. I
Right,
think.
and the financial support that you have to provide. And also, the country was going through a lot of changes back in the days, right after the Korean War, and that's when
And I think
dads were a lot more,
Yes, no, it's just the perception, I guess, you know, how people view you or think of you when you say, like, the interview you interviewed said he was, you know, in the beginning he was afraid of what people might think of him when he said, yeah, I'm here to pick up my daughter or my boy, you know.
Yeah, strange looks
Right, the perception
from mothers.
is not so
mostly,
much as stigma, but I think it goes along the same line.
It's against the
social norm. if you will.
Exactly.
Right.
It still is. But you know, who knows? Again, we're seeing more fathers taking paternity leave, so there is a heightened importance placed on children, especially as people are having less kids as well.
Spend more time with your kids is what this is all
Yes, I
about.
will
Yeah.
my workaholics.
Not just gifts on this family month, but time, quality time.
It's true, it's true. Fathers do need to spend that time with the kids. It's very important.
Thank you, Eunice, for that.
My pleasure.
All right, thank you very much for that.